treating us. Christ warned us a great deal more about materialism than he did any other sin. Luke 12:15 says, "And he said unto them, Take heed, and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth." It's not about how much you have. It's not about how much you can obtain. In fact, the parable about the salvation in Matthew 13:18-23, the deceitfulness of wealth is given as a cause for unfruitfulness. Sometimes when we can't win a soul to God, it might be because of that deceitfulness of your wealth, the greed or the covetousness that you have in your heart. Matthew 13:18-23 says, and I'm going to read the King James Version, and then I'm going to kind of decipher with the International Version, because I don't know if you guys are like me, but this King James Version sometimes tricks you up. It comes, just a little weird. And I love it. King James Version is my favorite. The International Version sometimes makes it a little clearer for us down here that live on earth and ain't all the time not in spiritual. Okay. 18 says, "Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower." 19, "When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one," we all know that's Satan, "and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is which received seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it." Okay, I looked the word anon up, and most of the definitions that I got was like straightway, right away, as soon as. They straightway, the International Version says, the straightway they received it with joy. 21 says, "Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended." And a lot of these things you'll have to go back, reread, and you can decipher it pretty much for yourself. Some of it's self-explanatory, some of it's not. "He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, choke the word, and he become unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some an hundredfold, some 60, some 30. And the International Version basically says the same thing. It says that 18 is exactly the same. 19 says, "When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the evil, and snatcheth away that which hath been sown in his heart, that he that was sown by the wayside." 20 says, "And he that was sown upon rocky places, this is he that heareth the word, and straightway with joy receive it." 21 says, "Yet he had not root in himself, but endureth for a little while. And when tribulation or persecution arise because of the word, straightway he stumbleth, or he fall. And he that was sown among the thorns, this is he that heareth the word, and the care of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becomes unfruitful. And he that was sown upon good ground, this is he that hears the word, and understands it, and barely beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. Each one of us are going to bear different things. Each one of us are going to win different souls. I might have won one soul in my lifetime, whereas Sister Lisa might have won 100, and Sister Jill might only win 60, So each one of us is different. Satan has taken the very riches provided by God to enhance our lives and bring others to salvation, and has diverted them for his use. Today, even Christians evaluate others based on how much they have, how successful they are, in worldly terms. It's what kind of car car you drive, what kind of house you live in, how much money you've got in the bank. Okay, is it wrong to be rich? Rich is a very subjective term, but here it's used in context with having enough money to meet all of your reasonable needs and still have funds left over. Clearly, God's Word teaches that many of His people will fit into this category. Not only will they be able to meet their needs, but they will also be able to help others who have needs as well. The entire 25th chapter of Matthew's Gospel is dedicated to the teaching and the management and distribution of surplus. Obviously, in God's economy, He must either provide a material surplus to some Christians to meet the needs of others, or He must provide manna from heaven. God's plan is clearly stated in 2 Corinthians 8:14-15, which says that our abundance at the present time will meet the needs of others. Later, their abundance will meet our needs as well. God makes provisions for all of us. He makes provisions for you. He makes provisions for me. He makes provisions for Stephen as well. 2 Corinthians 8:14 states in the King James Version, "But by an equality, that now at this time your abundance may be a supply for their want, that their abundance also may be a supply for your want, that there may be equality," that we all be equal in our need. "As it is written, he that hath gathered much had nothing over," and I would say he had nothing left over, "and he that had gathered little had no lack." So that means that if you gathered 100 cards and I only got 50, each one of us are made provisions for. The Bible made provisions so that you would share with me and that we would be equal. And that's the way Christ intended for us to do. Like if you have more, then you share with those that don't, and those that don't benefit from that so that at a later date, like let's say Stephen goes and gets a job, then he can turn around and help those that don't have a need as well. Amen. Christ warned those who are rich to always be on their guard. Luke 12:15-21 says, "And he said unto them, Take heed, and beware of covetousness." He's warned this several times. "For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth."